Stars are back. The race for Sace is officially on. Spurs Thunder was the big game. We all went and watched, except for Chandler. He wasn't here yet, and they win. They win, and they move on to the NBA Cup Finals. Shall we talk a little bit about what we saw from Wemby? Because obviously that was the big story of the day across all sports as he was making his return. Wasn't going to start. First time he hasn't gotten to do that in his whole career. 22 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks. He played 22 minutes, and if you are into plus minuses, he was a plus 20. I will start with you, Boogie.
Man, kid is incredible, man, and I think he put. It wasn't even about, the skill set and, all the different plays he can make. It was just his presence alone that literally changed the game for that Spurs team. Everything we've said about him is valid. He's the real deal. He's the truth. However you want to compliment him, he deserves all of the above. I'm saying it now. I think this team has a chance to compete this season. They proved that the other night with the win over the Thunder, and I can't praise them enough. This is a real legit team, and I think they have a real chance.
The Thunder were supposed to be unbeatable, 16-game winning streak. Bam.
Someone hit the group chat like this game could be early. This game could be over quick, and that you kind of had
that. That was Boogie, because I watched him text it. Well, I was like, no.
Way to cover for him.
I wasn't
said nope.
But I watched it, and
it's like, and it felt that way early with the start that OKC got off to, and credit to the San Antonio staff for, first of all, bringing him off the bench and allowing him to be coming at the end of the game and finish the game. I thought that was a brilliant play, and just like Boogie just said, the minute he came in the game, I hate plus minus. I think it's
usually
sometimes. He just impacted winning, and it's just his presence there, his shot altering, his just immediate impact for this team was really incredible. And again, like the plus minus thing, I think can go either way sometimes, but that was a true unreal positive plus minus game where he just had so much impact and just kind of changed the entire energy. And I wasn't there, but this felt and looked like a game 7 of like a playoff series. Like it was physical, it was electric. Like I can't say enough good things about the NBA Cup, but it looked awesome.
It felt awesome.
And what both of these guys said, like impact, and credit to the Spurs and how they offset his minutes restriction, and he's in there playing against the second group to get his feet wet, get his flow going. And every time that he checked into the game, he literally would cut the lead down 8 to 10 points every time. And then in the second half, when it was really time to win a basketball game, now he has a rhythm and now he's flowing. And I got to shine a light on De'Aaron Fox. Like every time that Wemby went out of the game, he was the aggressive one. He was the one making sure I'm going to keep us in this basketball game long enough to get the big guy back on the court, and then we're going to have an opportunity to win this game in the fourth quarter. Stephon Castle was another guy that was playing aggressive. So when you put these guys around Wemby, his impact, it gets magnified because he goes out, like the first possession, he gets 2 offensive rebounds, kicks it out for 3-point shots. Immediate impact. Goes down on the other end of the floor, block shot, goes down, gives them another opportunity in the fast break. So that was my first time seeing him live, but the word is impact, presence. Those are the things that's not going to show up on the paper, but just him being there and being impactful, that's what made the difference in this game, I feel like.
Yeah, 100% agree. And I was sitting next to an assistant, a Spurs assistant the other night, and, we had a chance to chat a little bit during the game, and we were just talking about, his strengths and his weaknesses. Well, not even weaknesses, because there's not many there.
That's fair.
But, the parts of his game that he can actually improve on, which is even hilarious to say. But it was parts of the game where I thought, he made it a little difficult on himself to make the right plays as far as he would make an extra move, maybe throw in an extra dribble when it wasn't really necessary. And I was speaking with the assistant. I'm like, when he gets to the point where he can just turn around and just shoot over the defender without, all the extra work, all the extra moves, that's when it's really going to become scary for the Spurs team and him as an individual talent. And you see his presence, you see the abilities, and it's scary to think about because this guy hasn't even really found his complete game yet. No. So it's the small, and the other thing I did not like is how much he hit the floor. Like, the floor is undefeated.
Talk about
the floor is undefeated. So, and that was for me, like, being able to see it from the angle that I did, I just didn't like seeing it. Like, and I think that's something that really has to be push within the organization. Try your best to stay off the floor because, like I said, the floor is undefeated.
And the way his kind of rotations were, it felt like he was almost on a minute restriction just because he had never done that. It was probably a different warm-up. It was a different, pregame routine. So that was new for Wemby, too. So I think early on.
And he was also doing some fun little stuff over here that I kept watching.
100%.
Have you seen the clip of him stepping over the railing in one step?
It's nothing.
It was
in stride.
So I think naturally he did force a little bit offensively early, just trying to get going, knowing that he had, his minutes were going to come in different parts of the game. So I think, and I think OKC did a good job. They put smaller guys on. They put Jalen Williams and Caruso and kind of try to be physical with him and then double and let him get the ball and not allow him to get the ball in certain spots and just shoot over. So I think teams are going to learn from that. I think New York's probably going to do the same thing, right? I don't think they're going to put Mitchell Robinson or Cat on him. I think they're going to put OG or Josh Hart and kind of do the similar, physicality early. But there's not one way to guard this guy. He's unbelievable.
To Boogie's point, like watching Caruso guard him, it looked like he was trying to get down to Caruso's level.
Exactly.
Opposed to just catching the ball, keeping it high, and shooting over Caruso. It looked like he was looking for contact, knowing that Caruso was playing him aggressively, and it bothered him a little bit. But again, like all pros, I think he watches the film. He watches where he can adjust and make different adjustments for smaller guys guarding him. Because like I said, every opportunity, him catching that ball at the free throw line extended, he can just shoot the ball over guys, but it looked like he was trying to create, and it was something different that he had never seen before.
So we have a lot more Wemby stuff, obviously, to get to. I just want to ask you guys, being in the building, and I was in a happy place, so it felt to me like there were a lot of Spurs fans. It got real loud at certain times.
Were you going nuts? Like, you had to have been so
losing it. I even wore my hat. I was so unprofessional, but I didn't have a media pass on, so I'm allowed to do that. But the question is, because the league has sort of discussed maybe moving this cup, at least the championship game, around a little bit. Boogie, I'm going to start with you again on this one. Do you like the way it is out here in Vegas, and should they just keep it as is?
I'm a bit biased.
Yeah, you are.
I'm a Vegas resident, so I'm loving the event. I'm loving the space that it's in. I love the outcome for the city. I think Vegas is the sports capital of the world, honestly.
What?
Yeah.
Sports capital?
Sports capital of the world.
Okay, that's
entertainment
a whole nother
capital?
hour.
Same thing, but sports is well. Sports is entertainment.
You have
Sports
the
is
Raiders,
entertainment.
which doesn't count. As a
Whoa,
football team,
whoa,
as
whoa,
does not
whoa,
count. So how is
whoa,
this
whoa,
sports?
We're not going to get distracted, but
Okay,
sports, I give you entertainment,
Yeah.
not
I'll give you
sports.
that.
I mean, once we get a basketball team and a football team, we have every sport.
He said it. See, he said it himself.
Every sport.
I'll tell you this. I think it's awesome having it here. I think it's one of the greatest cities in the world, and there's no NBA team here yet, right? So it kind of gives us a preview of what that could look like. It eliminates home court advantage for these teams. So yeah, exactly. It's a neutral site, and it gives these guys that move on and advance a time to kind of let their hair down and enjoy themselves and have team, so I love the idea of having it here. And I don't think there's a reason to bring like a home court advantage or switch the city up. Like imagine if you get to the Final Four next year and it's in another city that's not Vegas. Like that's just kind of a bummer. This is something I know if I was playing, I would look forward to coming to Vegas in the middle of the season. If it was moving around every year to Cleveland, Charlotte, Orlando,
well, how about if they,
I wouldn't be as stoked.
Vegas makes it feel different. I think you keep it in Vegas because, again, it's a neutral site. It's also Las Vegas. It has this entertainment value. Guys are allowed to do other things. Like you move this thing to whatever small market we want to talk bad about.
What if you alternated between the three cities that all the guys seem to collectively like at the same time?
Well, then
like Miami and LA or here.
Sure, but then you have that aspect of the home team being able to buy up the tickets and creating that advantage for something that shouldn't necessarily have that type of impact. You shouldn't be able to.
It should always be neutral.
It should always be neutral. But so when you talk about always being neutral, that limits the places that you can go. Like now you're looking at markets outside of NBA cities, and that can get tricky. I think Vegas is the spot. I think it has the entertainment value, like Boogie just mentioned. And again, these guys you're gonna be able to party. You got some time in between. It's easily to be motivated to go somewhere that you don't usually go during the NBA season.
These guys have been here for 4
Dude,
nights now. Like that's awesome. That's different. That's like
it's awesome.
I think that's a real treat during the season to be able to have a goal and to come here. Like
Right.
I don't even play anymore. I'm 37 years old, and I get excited to come to Vegas.
Yeah,
like
we know, Chandler.
the whole town knows.
Everybody knows.
I think the most important part that we kind of leaving out too is this is a place, you know, fans and tourists actually want to come to. This is a tourist city.
Right.
So as far as, you know, having fan support, having the best crowds, having the you know, the best all-around event, I think that's also a plus with it being in Vegas. You know, what fan wouldn't want to come to Vegas, watch good basketball, have all the entertainment in the world, best dining in the world? It's a lot of pluses that come with Vegas. So,
Not to mention, there not being a team here, there's kids that are so stoked to get to go see like Wemby play and Jalen Brunson, see them in person, guys that they've never seen like in real life before. It's cool to give those kids an opportunity to see them.
So what we're saying is, if it ain't fixed, don't broke it.
Don't move it.
We like it the way it is. There are some good quotes that came out of this thing. We'll go back to Wemby right now because he is the origin of these quotes. First, some people are built for this moment and some aren't. We are built for this. Now, I'm going to ask you, number one, Chandler, are we good with it? But number two, a lot of people are reading into what seems to be a just great growing rivalry between he and Chet Holmgren.
I will say he's saying some spicy stuff, and I hate to have to read between the lines and try and guess what he's thinking or feeling because he's
put
never
an address on it. If
exactly
it's spicy, put an address.
Like,
on
I hate these old reports like he hates Chet, he doesn't hate Chet, he's got a real beef with him. Like until he says it, I refuse to believe there's like an actual rivalry or a beef there. But it does kind of feel like there's a little something there, and they're both such great teams, and they're both set up so well for the future, and they're young, and so these guys are going to be going at it for a long time to come. And I think we learned the other night that the Spurs are here. The Spurs will not back down from this team, and they can compete with this team. Now it's one game. The Thunder are the defending champs. They're 24-2, so I don't think we need to blow this out of proportion, but I do love that Wemby is confident and he is feeling himself and he thinks his team has a chance to win every single night, and that when he's on the floor, he is the best player in the world. So you can't knock it. It feels like there's a little something extra here.
All right, but I'll say it though. What moment we talking about? Because Chet has a ring already. So if we're talking about the NBA Cup, I don't know if that qualifies for the moment. What I do, look, I'm in my boogie bag today. But what I do enjoy the fact that Wemby is starting to be a part of the show. Mm-hmm. He has things to say now. He's feeling himself, and he should. Yeah. He deserves the right to have something to say. So for somebody that's a young superstar, that's a budgeting superstar in our league, and we're trying to understand his personality, we're trying to get to know him more. I like these quotes. I like him being more talkative and challenging guys and making it be known, I'm here to stay. And if just in case y'all thought that I can be a humble giant and I can be a humble killer at the same time, so I like it. I like the competitive nature of it all.
I'm agreeing with exactly what you're saying. I think this is great for basketball. I think, especially when it comes to these two individuals, they're so similar in their game. They're young, up and coming bigs. Obviously, they're creating a storyline that's great for the league. Who wouldn't want two of the youngest, up and coming bigs to, not necessarily like each other on the floor?
I want them to hate each other so much.
We need that.
We need that.
Yeah. And I also love the energy from Wemby. We get so caught up in this league as far as when you're considered, good or great, that you have to carry yourself with this, this arrogance, like I'm too good to, speak on certain things, or
too
I have to.
School?
Yeah, you got to have this fake persona as if you can't sit there and say, you know what, I don't like when I play this guy. He brings out the best in me, and I look forward to every time I play him. So I love this type of energy. I love what I'm seeing from Wemby. And like I said, I think it's great for basketball.
But even like during the game, there was a possession where Caruso kind of slapped the ball out of his hands, and then he got it back and made the shot over him. And he was chirping at Caruso. Like that is part of his game and part of his confidence and his makeup, that he's not going to back down. He doesn't care that the Thunder are 24-1. Like he doesn't care that they're the same draft class, him and Chet. And there's clearly something brewing there and going on there. He thinks he's the best player in the world. He proves pretty much every night that he's in that conversation.
He missed 12 games. His first game back.
His first game back, and he didn't miss a beat. And he was a little rusty there offensively, trying to force. But this showed me a lot about the Spurs. Obviously, they're still growing. There's still a lot of room to go there. And like I said, OKC is still the champs until they're knocked off. But this was a big step for the Spurs. But that trophy at the end of the season, is way more important than this MVP Cup.
Because I think the Spurs are a really good basketball team, but it shows how impactful Wemby is, and they need him on the floor, and they need him on the floor for extended minutes. You know, again, before we saw Wemby come into the basketball game, we all had opinions about where this was going to go. Every time he went out of the game, the lead ballooned back to 10-plus points. Every time it ballooned back to double digits. Once he was on the floor consistently, we start having a different conversation in where this was going to go. So I love what he was able to bring to the table. I love the fact that Vassell had a dub, Castle had a dub, Fox had a dub. But defensively, what Wemby brings to the table, that's where it's most important to have him on the floor. So again, when you have your main guy talking like that, it's easy for everybody around him to gather some confidence around that and do what's needed to do. Now, I also don't think that OKC played their best basketball game either. You know, you had a couple of guys that, you know, they had their numbers, but they weren't as efficient and didn't play their best games. I think Jalen Williams didn't play his best basketball game. You know, Lou Dort didn't play his basketball game. These are two of the guys that have been really, really good for OKC, and they're going to need them to win. I don't think Shea played his best basketball game as well. And so when you leave the door open for so many opportunities to get beat, and you have a team that takes pride on the defensive end, and you have 4 guys that have 20, it's going to be hard to beat them anyways.
Absolutely.
Anybody want to start the race for Shea stuff now, Lou? Did you see anything that says, man, maybe this is it?
I still like OKC, but I did say, but I do feel like the Spurs put people on notice that they're going to be a team that's going to put some pressure on that.
When you say gonna be, do you mean like next season?
No, playoffs.
You mean this season? Okay.
They're
okay.
tough.
playoffs.
Someone's going to have to beat this team 4 times. That is going to be not an easy task. And because they also, as young as they are and how potential and you know, there's no limits on how good they can be, they still have guys like like Harrison Barnes, like Cornette, like De'Aaron Fox, who we literally thought was going to like get lost in the shuffle here with all these guards.
And he stepped up.
Like he's arguably like their second best player. Like he has been playing so well.
Arguably.
So
I don't know.
like,
I say who's arguing?
Arguably.
I mean, Castle's been great, but like that's my point. I think that's a luxury to have a guy like that who's, you know, been doing this for years, to mix in with these guards and kind of let them grow together. They have a great combination of youth, of vet experience in that locker room, and it's all built around Wemby.
And I don't think De'Aaron Fox is actually playing his best ball as of yet.
Yeah.
I think he's still kind of finding his footing and trying to figure out, you know, how to play with this much talent. This is a guy that was, you know, clutch player of the year a couple years ago. So he's a legit player in this league. He's going to elevate this team, especially around playoffs when he can, you know, really get his feet underneath him and let his confidence continue to grow within this group. So this is a scary team. And if I'm in the playoffs facing them, first round, second round, whatever the case may be, I'm on high alert.
Anybody more impactful, just off the top of your head, in the league
Than
right
Wemby?
now? Yeah. If you had to.
Not from what I saw.
I mean, listen, there's
Like, who would you?
Giannis.
like
I mean,
Jokic,
in the
obviously
conversation.
Giannis, like, but on both sides of the ball, like
don't think
immediate, like altering game,
Like changes the air in the
I
room.
would say a Giannis.
That's, but I don't think so. Like seeing Wemby in person and being able to watch him and from game to game, defensively, you literally can't get a layup on him, and you don't want to. So I haven't seen that type of impact since Shaq.
Okay.
Like, it's been since Shaq where teams they literally can't get to the hole, and he's agile enough to get out to the three-point line, to sit down and guard one-on-one. And that's on the defensive end. On the offensive end, again, 2 straight offensive rebounds immediately, giving your team 3-4 opportunities to shoot the basketball. And this is consistent. This is every time down the floor, he's making some sort of positive impact for his team on both ends of the floor. We can compare it to some other guys, but I haven't seen it in a long, long time.
You know what's interesting to me is, like, yesterday I played in this golf tournament with the NBA, and there's all these NBA legends there, Hall of Fame players there, and the way they talk about Wemby is insane. Like, no matter who you are, what era you played in, you've never seen a kid and a guy like this. Like, it is unbelievable, like the respect and just like the praise he's getting from every era, from every single player that's come through the game, that's playing now. Like, you hear some hate about other players. I haven't really heard anything about like Wemby or like any, like there's no holes,
It's
no
coming.
weakness. Like,
You want to know why? Well, it's going to come from some. It's not going to come from people that respect him, but because of the quotes. And to me, this next quote is, I think, the better of the two. After this one, huge upset over the Thunder. I'm just glad to be a part of something that is growing to be so beautiful. Long pause, pure and ethical basketball. Dun, dun, dun. Lou. I mean, that's a direct hit.
What is it? Is it like
Yes,
is it
because-
like what?
because when
Foul bait or
yes,
whatever?
because when people speak of the Thunder, we know that that whole narrative with SGA, blah blah blah.
Everybody does
But
that.
but the word
This is a
ethical
reach.
is no, it isn't. Just based on the narrative.
No, we're gonna put an address on
reach,
it. If he didn't put an address on it, we're not gonna try to say this and that. And let me remind you again, he's still barking up. He's barking.
Oh, I love that, though.
Yeah, he's barking
Yeah.
up to the guys that have the rings. So whatever you want to fashion their style of basketball to be, it's ring season over there, and they're still the favorites. So I like the fact, if this is what's going on, I like the fact that he's shaking the tree. Shake the tree as much as you can. However, put an address on it. Don't send a subliminal to Chet. Don't send a subliminal to SGA. If we love these quotes and if they're valid and they're authentically for those guys, put an address on it like anybody else.
I just
Talk
wish
to
the
him, Lou.
reporter. I wish the reporter would have been like, "You're talking about Shea, right?" Like,
Yeah, the word ethical in this one is that
Or
is
she
that a
would've just
direct hit?
followed up with who are you talking about, and like, you know what I mean. So again, I like what Lou said here. I like what he's saying. He is confident. He is feeling himself right now. Now this can. I don't love the passive aggressiveness. Like I would want him just to say it. Say
think
how
it's
you
funny.
feel. So I think there's a fine line. There's a balance of obviously being professional and having that respect. Like he's got to respect the Thunder, right? He like
for
they
sure.
are
He
at the
doesn't
top.
have to respect
They are
them.
the champs.
No, he must.
Well, you
don't have
Foolish
to.
not.
you bet you
Exactly.
should, because you've beat him one time in the NBA Cup. That is a huge step forward. But again, like we've all said, last 10 minutes, they are the champs until knocked off, and I can't wait for that series. I hope,
God, I
honestly,
can't.
after seeing that game, I hope this is the Western
Well,
Conference Finals.
The good news, they play each other again on the 23rd and on Christmas Day, so you've got 2 more games to look forward
Well,
to in like a
scheduling.
week.
Hey, you know what?
It is off
no,
scheduling, but
listen, Chandler, we thought that was botched scheduling.
Now it's not.
we look forward
Yeah.
to this game again. Now I want to see them play again at me.
Yeah, I want them sick of each other by Christmas.
Yeah.
Hey.
Now, if it was a 25-point blowout, I was like, all right. But now,
Now
with
it's
these
good.
quotes, with everything that's prime time, I will be watching Christmas Day. I'm looking forward to this next matchup.
100%. We're going to take a very, very quick break. On the other side, J.R. Smith will join us in studio.
Swish.